Oh, you know it's slow news when people want to talk about numbers and video game sales instead of actually reviewing a game or talking about some cool stuff coming out with video games. Yeah, I mean it. That's really how I view this. You know, I just don't understand it. Why are people still talking about the Wii U's slow sales? The Wii U has sold 10 million units, and by today's standards, checking out a chart, the Wii U's not that far behind the Xbox One. And comparably to things in history, the Wii U is right there with the Dreamcast. Yeah, Sega's last game system. It's kind of silly to compare the two because that's quite a bit of foreshadowing there for the Wii U. Hey Wii U, you did as good as the Dreamcast. Oh crap. But real talk, and realistically, the next step up for the amount of things sold would be the GameCube. And the GameCube did just fine. Same with the Wii. The Wii sold, 101 million, and the GameCube sold 20 million. So people hammering and talking about how the Wii U has lackluster sales, that doesn't mean that the next console isn't going to sell like hotcakes. I mean, you just look at the GameCube and the Wii example right there. I just showed it. I mean, boom, there you go. You know, there's tons of game systems on this chart that sales-wise, you're not really sure, you know? You don't really lump the same companies together. It's very diverse up at the top. The PlayStation 2 and the Nintendo DS are literally a stone's throw away from each other. One's at 155 million and above, you know, whoever's consoles got received and they didn't document it. And then the Nintendo DS is at 154.1 million. So it's a stone's throw away from being that close. And then the Game Boy comes at 3rd place and the PlayStation at 4th place. You see any 7th gen, 6th gen consoles there? I mean, we don't have the original Xbox. We don't have the GameCube. We don't have the 360. We don't have the PlayStation 3, you know? We don't even have the Wii up there. The Wii comes down at 100 million, you know? So the top 3 slots are the Nintendo DS, the Game Boy, and the PlayStation 2. Sales really don't say too much about anything, honestly, except that the system's gonna die. I'm not doing damage control here. I'm just kind of poking fun at people who sit here and spin numbers and fearmonger so much. I don't understand it. I really don't. You know, I was playing my Wii just the other day, like yesterday and some of today, honestly. And I got a new chair and I was sitting and I was playing with the Wii U and I was playing Hyrule Warriors and Splatoon, and I had a great time. I had a lot of fun because I was playing with the games and not playing with numbers and spinning these fear-mongering stories and talking about numbers and talking smack. And I'm not calling people out. I know people like Stone Fox Media, Review Tech USA, and other people out there that do gaming news. They always spit these numbers out and they always do stories about that, and I'm not calling them out. I'm just saying, why are people still talking about these numbers? And you might be edgy in the comments and say, well, Proto, you're doing a news story about the numbers of the units they sold. It doesn't matter. And yes, I understand that, but that's kind of a catch-22. You can't express your distaste or disliking of something without talking about that something. It's a catch-22. So there's always going to be people that are going to talk about that. Now, I want to talk about some of the more failed consoles out there compared to the Wii U. While the Wii U is down there with the Dreamcast is one of the most remembered and favorite game systems that has ever failed. The Dreamcast was pretty nice. It was a good game console, and hopefully I'll be doing a console theory about it soon enough. But that's not the point. My point is that there's plenty of game systems under the Wii U. And even though this chart is wrong, I know the Xbox One has sold many more consoles than 10 million. The Xbox One isn't sitting pretty, and neither is the PlayStation 4, honestly. There's plenty of other consoles that have beat out the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One still. I'm just throwing that out there. But some of the other consoles that have sold 10 million would be the TurboGrafx, the Sega Game Gear sold 11 million units, the Sega Pico, if anyone knows what that is. The Atari 7800 sold less than 3 million units. I'm sorry, less than 4 million units. The PlayStation Vita sold less than 4 million units. Sega Saturn, 9.5 million. Intellivision, ColecoVision, N-Gage. God, the N-Gage. Wow. Now there's a video. Magnavox Odyssey, Atari Lynx, Philips CDI, Telestar, and Atari 5200. These are all failed systems, but they're absolute critical failures, except for the PlayStation Vita and the Sega Saturn. Those were pretty decent consoles, but even though the PlayStation Vita has quite some support and quite some good games, it still isn't selling. It doesn't matter if it's kid-friendly or if it's Nintendo or if it's Sony. Sony's PlayStation 4 is moving like hotcakes, while its PlayStation Vita is moving like a fucking snail. And it's the same way with Nintendo. Nintendo's main console is pretty slow, even though it doubles plus some of the Vita, but its DS line and 3DS line destroying, completely and utterly destroying this generation that's currently out. So when you talk numbers, that's all it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a number. So let's get back to talking about games and having fun and actually playing them. I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. Good gaming, and God bless. And now, the important decision of joining the Maverick Rebellion. We are a tight group of individuals who rebel against stereotypes and greater evils that are commonly accepted. ISPs, children being conned out of games, sexism in video games, enough is enough, and the Mavericks have had it. If you choose to subscribe, or stay subscribed, you are joining the fight against injustice by watching my numerous video topics. From net neutrality to publishers covering up botched releases, the Mavericks are always informed on the issues plaguing your gaming experience today. So don't be left out in the cold, and don't let those people keep you down. Join the Maverick Rebellion today and become a member of the community that will listen and engage with you. What are you waiting for? Just click subscribe and you'll be in good company. Mavericks unite!